Hello, this is Miss Poor, and this is the semester introduction, which will take you through the LMS and how to get things done in the LMS. The first thing I want to discuss is the student guide. Before you begin any lesson, make sure you have a copy of your student guide. This is important because you're able to use your notes on the quizzes and tests. Also, writing something down helps the information remain in your long-term memory. Continue using the student guide as you watch the lesson recordings as well. To access the student guide, enter the lesson you'll be studying. At the bottom left of the lesson screen, you will click on Lesson Resources. A window will open that contains all the resources available to you for that lesson. The student guide is always at the top of the student materials list. Click on the student guide and it will be downloaded to your computer as a PDF document. You can then print out the document and take notes as you go through the lesson and the recording. Another resource available to you is the reference guide that was shipped to you with your K-12 materials. This guide supplements the LMS. It is not the same material. Many times the concepts are explained in a different manner and they give different examples. You may also use the book when taking quizzes and tests, especially the appendix and the glossary. To download a PDF copy of the reference guide, click on the tab in the navigation menu of the Geometry LMS that says A Reference Guide. This may be downloaded onto your computer or other mobile device and is convenient because you can make notes and highlight the text. The reference guide may also be downloaded by unit by clicking on the Unit Resources tab under the Unit tab for each unit. Each lesson in this course is set up in the same basic format, and you will be expected to go through each lesson in the same manner so you can take advantage of all the resources and activities available to you. A very popular method for teaching math is for you to 1. Read the lesson and watch the lesson recording, 2. Practice what you've just learned, and 3. Apply what you just learned in practice, and then 4. Complete a mastery check. The first step of reading and watching will be done using the LMS and the recording I've prepared for you. The lessons are listed in chronological order under the Unit tab. You just click on the lesson, then read through the pages. The lesson recordings are found in the announcements on the home page of the LMS and is titled Lesson Recording Library. Within each lesson in the LMS, you will be asked to practice and check the lessons they are teaching you. Don't just breeze through the lesson and glance at the answers. Take time to practice working the examples they have provided. Also, K-12 provides some offline activities I will talk about in a moment. It is very important that you complete these as well. These activities take place in Step 2, Practice what you've just learned. If you haven't done so already, you will need to download the Geogebra software. You just need to go to www.geogebra.org. Click on Download, then click on Install Geogebra. Choose your operating system and follow the on-screen directions. There is a handout available in the Geometry LMS doc sharing that you can use as a guide in downloading the software. The student guide will provide you with directions for completing activities in Geogebra. It is important that you complete the activities as they will help you build an understanding of geometry. Another offline activity is the problem sets. Completing these worksheets fulfills Step 2 and Step 3 of our learning model. Step 2 is practice what you've just learned, and 3 is apply what you just learned in practice. K-12 also supplies you with an answer key so you can check your work. This ensures that you understand the material and if you are ready to take the lesson quiz. You are always welcome to IM me on Yahoo or Google Hangouts if you have any questions at this point in your lesson. Unfortunately, we do not meet on a daily basis, so it's important to make sure you are grasping the concepts before you attempt the quiz. When we do meet for CCs, we will be covering the concepts that a majority of the students struggled with during the week. You will also have an opportunity to get assistance at that time and during my office hour on Thursdays. Step 4 is Mastery Check. This is done by you completing the quiz for each lesson. After you have covered several topics in the unit, you will be required to take the mid-unit test. This is in the same format as the quizzes. However, each question will be worth 3 points instead of 1. So make sure you know the material. At the end of each unit, there is a unit test Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 is mostly multiple choice with an occasional fill in the blank. Each question is worth 5 points. You will be able to retake quizzes and complete corrections on the mid-unit and Unit 1 test. There are instructions for completing corrections in the navigation bar under Course Home. The Unit Part 2 test is open response. That means you open up the MS Word document and save to your computer. Many of the questions can be typed in using your computer. You will be required to always show your work on each problem. Sometimes a problem will instruct you to graph, construct, or draw. These problems must be completed by hand, which means you will have to print out the page that contains the problem, complete the task, scan the page, and submit to the Dropbox. If you do not have a scanner, you may take a photo of the completed problem, then paste the photo into the test. When I grade your test, I will always give you feedback that will help you understand the mistake you have made, or I could be telling you that you did a great job working on the problem. These are the steps you will need to take with each Part 2 test you will be taking. We will have 5 unit Part 2 tests, and final exam will have a Part 2. If you do not have a printer or a scanner, please begin making arrangements now to access these documents and get them completed. These slides will be available in Doc Sharing, so you can print the entire lesson or just this page. If you are struggling or do not understand a concept or procedure, do not hesitate to contact me. I'm here to help you be a success. As you have heard many times, there are no silly or dumb questions. You just need to ask. Thank you for listening to this introduction recording. My hope is that you will have a very successful year in geometry.